Okay, welcome back to Naruto Anime Re-Review Part 11. This time discuss This is covering episodes 136 to 141, the Land of Rice Fields Mission. Yes, the first of many in a row where they're all anime original, basically all filler. This one takes place not long after what happened in the arc. Yeah, not long after that, where Naruto really wants to sneak. He basically sneaks in the hospital just to have some ramen. And of course, Suzune's looking for him. He gets captured. She catches him, ties him up, takes him back to the hospital, and he gets tied up. Oh yeah, his hands are tied with hairs of a virgin. Are they her hairs? Because Suzune. Here's the strange thing about Suzune that's barely been explored in this series. Okay, she's a niece of Tsunade's former lover. She's Tsunade's assistant. And she's sort of she's an apprentice of hers. And not much else. Suzune is basically one character in the series that is just there and has got barely any development over the years. As a matter of fact, she's never developed an interest in any guy in the series. Was there anybody even close to possibly be a person that she could be interested in? The answer is no, because by the time of Boruto, she's still single. Yeah, because there's hardly anything that focuses on her backstory. Yes, very few things know about her. It's possible she's a chonin because she's able to wear a chonin vest when she's in combat, but a lot of the time she just does nothing aside from being Tsunade's assistant. So, catches Naruto, ties him up. Of course, Sakura, of course, really wants to go look for Sasuke, and looks like it's looks similar to when Sasuke, when he left the village. They kind of do it a bit of the middle of the night, or at least a little late in the day. Of course, Naruto himself breaks out after being told by Sakura she's going to basically go after her. Of course, he breaks all the bonds. And of course, Jiraiya, of course, pays a visit to Tsunade. He's like, could you stop trying to take a peek? So, basically, he talks to her for a bit, and it's later revealed that he basically practically begged her to have him be in charge of a special mission, comprising himself, Sakura, and Naruto, to go to find this hidden sound village to hopefully find Sasuke. And where do they go? The Land of Rice. Well, they go in the dub. They call it Land of Rice Paddies, but the official name is Rice Fields. So they go there, and of course Naruto is like having deja vu of the search for Tsunade arc, where it's like, oh crap, he's gonna ask for money, he's gonna spend it all, a bunch of women, while he's trying to look for research for his book. The first time they come across, well, not much to it. Of course, both Naruto and Sakura give him their money. I know if he pays him back later because later he's got a big checking account because he's wealthy. So he basically gets information. He tries to get information from his one town, but he gets chased out by the local people. And since they're undercover, they can't exactly reveal the ninjas. So they come across another town, and it looks a little different. Still much of a dump. And of course he goes in, and of course Naruto points out though, I have no money, and Sakura's like, neither do I. So he goes in, and of course they are given money to go buy food. Okay, at least it's considerate of them. And he's there for a bit, and he's asking like, where can I find the sound village? And the lady's like, I'll take you to somebody who knows. Goes corner of an alley, and well. I thought this was quite interesting. Where he's confronted by a bunch of ninja. It's like, oh, we're from the Fuma clan. And then, of course, after he defeats their leader, he asks, like, who are you? He says, I'm Jiraiya. And, of course, he says it dramatic way. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Master Jiraiya. We'll tell you everything. Meanwhile, what was Naruto and Sakura up to while he was in the first town? They run into a orange-haired girl. Yes, they'll take it down as a girl. Yeah, just some ninja they run into because they think that possibly associated with Shimaro because ninja are after her. So the meal they were getting this time, she's actually wounded. So they take her, and of course, well, they protect her, and of course, it's later revealed Naruto just touched her chest. Yeah, when there's like, he's like, who's the pretty girl? Yeah, and of course, Sakura punches him because he touched her chest by accident. I don't think he even knew it was a girl. Like, he's probably thinking, I wonder what that squishy stuff was. Yeah, but the thing is, he never apologized for it all. Despite the fact it was clearly an accident. She, of course, well, has to go outside so she could well, of course, the woman's name is Suzune, I think I pronounced her name. Yeah, she takes off her top, though she's basically showing off her back, so Sakura could treat her wound. She does have knowledge of medical ninja. Sorry, just answering a quick text message. Okay, yeah. So they eventually do find out exactly where the Hidden Sound Village is, and it's the place where Sasuke went to during the canon stuff. Yeah, it's the same exact place. They go in, and of course they sneak inside. This, of course, after they deal with some people from her own clan, which they claimed that people that Jiraiya met were in fact traitors, but they really weren't. Nope. So yeah, and there's like three of these guys, and it turns out they think it's one guy, and of course they rent these characters again prior to getting to Sound. They think it's the Sound Village, and turns out the guy who was basically the who has the Earth Jutsu, turns out it's actually a woman. Yep, it's a woman. They run into her a little bit later, and then of course, well, they get to Sound Village. Of course, Suzune stays outside for about an episode or two. Portia comes inside, and of course, well, need to get inside. So, Jiraiya summons Gamakachi for some reason. I didn't know he was actually a tracker, but Sakura basically, obviously, any girl would realize, like, oh crap, a talking toad! What? Because she doesn't like toads. So, yeah, no traps. Everything's perfectly fine until they get split up. So, Gamakachi goes into tunnel number 1. Naruto Sakura goes into tunnel number 2, and Jiraiya goes number 3. Jiraiya then runs into... Well, I was kind of surprised to see her that I recognized the person. I'm thinking, oh wait, I remember her. She was from the Trinity exam, and yet Naruto didn't say anything about it to anybody about it. Yeah, and then of course they run some traps, and of course Naruto get briefly separated. Of course, she of course goes to the very room where basically you see some scenes from canon stuff in this room, and they think that she confronts Kabuto, but this is not Kabuto. Kabuto is not actually here. Nope. Oh, look, it's Orochimaru. Nope, it's not Orochimaru. As for who this Kabuto is actually the woman they ran into, who turns out is actually Chonin. And then they run into, now basically the reason why they're here is not only for Sasuke, but also Suzuki's cousin. Which they kind of do. And it turns out that this guy actually merged with two Jonin, the two they fought, and they spent a good portion of the last episode fighting him. He also apparently knows of some forbidden jutsu only known by the ancient chiefs. How the heck this guy knows it, never explained. And eventually he's defeated, and then he reveals, they think, oh yeah, Sasuke's dead, but nope, he's not dead at all. Yeah, that was the reason for it, and he is not. Basically, it had wait 3 years before he can take his body. So, of course, Sakura, of course, she has the basically stereotypical thing where she's useless, she's dead weight. So, after the mission is over, after talking briefly to Naruto, of course, his hands were damaged during the actual battle. Of course, Jiraiya had to carry him back to the village. Oh yeah, and also, the place had collapsed. So, he took the woman who was trying to put him under genjutsu. Somehow he escaped from her. And it's never shown exactly how he escaped from her. Yeah, how did he get out of basically being trapped by her hair? Yeah, that was never explained. They do explain how Naruto got out of a trap he was in. Yeah, unintentionally, Suzuki basically broke him out. And of course, she's Gamakachi, and of course, like any woman, she's shocked to see a talking toad. What does Gamakachi do aside from look for traps? He doesn't do very much at all in this whole thing. Nope, he doesn't. Eventually, of course, her cousin basically reveals Richimaru's plan. Of course, the woman who basically Jiraiya was facing, he defeated off screen. I thought that was kind of dumb. The fact they didn't show how to view. They would mention like, oh look, the woman's unconscious and lying on top of a toad. How the heck this toad got summoned? When? Never explained. And of course, there are two dropped up with the main members of the Fuma clan. And oh yeah, Fuma clan, apparently their thing is that they have something to do with chakra, where they can actually break chakra, while chakra threads. And the fake Kabuto try to use this to kill both himself and Naruto. But it turns out Kabuto is actually the woman they actually met. And the fake Orochimaru and the Orochimaru is actually the cousin looked for. But he ended up dying anyways, though. Even though Naruto did fulfill his promise by reuniting them, they didn't, like, let's just say, go out with him. So, there returns to Fuma Clan, of course, then later on, after they return to the Hidden Leaf, Sakura goes to Tsunade. Now, this part, it was, as far as I can tell, wasn't necessarily mentioned in the manga, because they mentioned that time skip, that she basically asked Tsunade to become her apprentice, so she can know medical ninjutsu, which Tsunade accepts. But she's like, I won't be going easy on you. She's like, okay, and that's technically where it ends. Yeah. This was an interesting arc. I think the only weakness of this arc is Jiraiya. I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting, though. They kind of were revisiting stuff from, like, the beginning portion of this arc was revisiting the beginning portion of the Sasuke Shibu arc, and a little bit revisiting of the Search for Tsunade. I thought that was kind of interesting. Aside from that, Jiraiya doesn't do a lot in this arc, which is kind of weird. Because in the later fill stuff, he does do a little bit more to contribute. But here, he doesn't do very much at all. Also, he still has his summoning toad. Somehow. When he summoned it back out, no idea. Also, who this toad is never explained. Is it the same toad he summoned when he was outside Naruto's room at the Sasuke Chibu arc? No, because this one got swords back on it. So, me. Also, it's assumed after they escaped, Gamakashi apparently returned back to the place where the toads reside, which, okay, when the heck did that happen? Yeah, that was one of two things that was never explained in this episode. Him returning back, when the heck did that happen? And two, how did Jiraiya escape from that woman? That was never explained. But at least the case with Naruto and Sakura, that was actually quite interesting. I think the character that got a lot of development in this arc was Sakura. Because, well, she was useless, and now she basically is doing something useful. Which should be interesting to see, because apparently the only jutsu she knew was substitution jutsu. That was it. Yeah, that was the thing. She didn't do very much at all during the canon stuff. Because mostly she was there just to protect whoever they were protecting. Yeah, but I think a nice nod to this one, aside from the Sakura stuff, I did like the fact they got a chance to visit the place that was actually in canon stuff. Yes. Though, this filler arc starts a trend that will continue throughout the rest of the series, where, oh look, it's Orochimaru, and no, he's too far away. Oh look, Sasuke's there. No, he's not. Yeah, this is basically a thing they do for pretty much the series, where they try frequently to have Naruto look for Sasuke, but he doesn't. Nope. Yeah, and it's implied this takes place over the course of 3-month time skip they actually have in the manga. It's implied you could put this in there, and you won't exactly miss anything because the manga did have 3-month time skip before Naruto went out to train with Jiraiya for 2.5 years. But the next arc of the series is a character put up to the series, the Mizi tracking mission. This one is also 6 episodes. Just like this arc was. Yeah, so for many arcs, you have a 6-parter, a 4-parter, 6 standalone, 6 standalone. 5, 1, 2, 1, 6, 3, 5, 2, 5, 1, 4. Most small starters, they tend to range from the shortest they might go is 2. The longest will go with 6, but they won't go any further than that. Nope, they won't. I'm not really sure why, but that's just the way it is. But my next review is not going to be more Naruto. It's going to be that ReZero one I was hoping to do yesterday, but ran out of time. So I'll hopefully get a chance to do it tonight. But I'm going to do basically 2 episodes of it. First, I'm discussing the first 6 episodes, first 6 of the shorts for Break Time Season 2. I'll discuss the first 6 there, and then I'll do another video right after that, basically put up 2 videos in a row. I'll talk about the second 6. Okay? See you next video. Bye.